What matters is that we just remind in one way or another, remind ourselves to be consciously alive here now, and learn to relax in that. Hello, my friends. Many times I have told you there is nothing really to attain. You're struggling, hoping to reach a goal, hoping to attain something. And I say often, what we are looking for is already here. It is now. It's not something that is ever lost. We just forgot about it. But the fact that there is nothing to attain doesn't mean, okay, then let's just be lazy about it. Like Dale told us last time that somebody told him, well, anyhow, at the end of the kalpa, not of the kalpa, of the creation, at the prachlaya, then everything will be leveled out, so why do something? Okay, why do something? Because we can learn to exist even in the human form without suffering. We can learn to get rid of all that which is preventing us from being aware of what is here. To make an effort doesn't mean we have to make an effort in order to attain something that is not there. The effort is to become aware how much efforts we are wasting, making all the time to create our tensions simply because they are there out of habit, old patterns, conditionings that we build up when growing up. It makes so totally sense to make that the effort, at least that little effort, to keep on reminding ourselves, hey, come on, be here, be now, be alert, connect, relax in that as good as we can. And as long as the mind is full of tensions and full of restlessness, it seems to be a tremendous effort, but actually we just have to go about it. It is not an effort grinding our teeth. If somebody wants to do so, they can do so. But what matters is that we just remind in one way or another, remind ourselves to be consciously alive here now, and learn to relax in that. And we can do that quite relaxedly, quite playfully, or we can do it with a lot of tensions. But then we have to become aware there we are creating new tensions, and those also we have to gradually let go. And then some patience is needed for most of us. Those barriers that we have built up, they may have their own strength and they may not go from one day to another. Although we know better, the tendency is to slip again and again into the old patterns. Although we decide not to do so, when the situation comes, then out of habit, boom, there we go again. Let's not get disheartened when this is happening. Let's not get desperate, but just, okay, it's still there. The force of it is still there. It overwhelms me when I'm not attentive. When the situation comes, the old habit takes over. But the moment we become aware there, we can let go instead of reinforcing it, instead of thinking, yes, I'm totally right to function like this. It's not a question of being right or wrong on this level. It's a question of becoming aware how much we are hurting ourselves and then learn not to do that anymore. And this, it's worth the trouble to do relentlessly. It's the one most valuable thing in this world. It's the one thing that makes the most sense, that once we have understood it, that we put our attention as good as we can on that of just be observative, become aware how the attention is always wandering off in the past, in the future, in dream worlds, in fantasies turning round and round, instead of being consciously aware. Now, instead of learning to just be, no matter what approach one is using, no matter what path one is on, no matter whether one is more a devotee or more a yogi or more a jnani, it's worth the trouble to just remind yourself, come here, now, here, now. Is that only one split point where we are touching reality? All else is in the mind. And in the mind we are creating all those tensions. In the mind we are creating all those resistance. In the mind we are creating all the suffering. And simply thinking, anyhow, everything is already there. One can superficially get a little peace by thinking like this, but as long as we are functioning in the usual old contradictory manner, then we're still creating suffering. And we need not suffer. Suffering is something that is unnatural. And it's not the terrible world out there that creates our suffering. Oh, the terrible world is doing a lot to create troubles. Definitely. Right now, so many people are in terrible circumstances, but the real suffering is happening when we are in a circumstance that we don't like and we totally resist. And then it keeps going round and round and nagging and really drawing all our energy into a whirlpool. That life, everything becomes heavy. The little things become already tremendous and big. And we need not live like this. So I will always continue to say we need not attain anything. What we are looking for is here. It's now. It's timeless, spaceless. It has been before we were born as a human. It's now. It will be, even if this human form disappears. We just forgot it. But in spite of it being here, as long as we're creating all those illusory half realities, all this stuff in the mind that creates pain and suffering, it's worth the trouble to make that effort to remind ourselves, hey, come, bring the attention back here, now, and relax. On and on. Gradually it becomes easier. Sometimes it will start to happen all by itself, effortlessly. And it's just in touch with that relaxed, that ease, at peace. Then the old habit takes over again. There we go again. And we have no other way to go about it, but to consciously bring it back again and again. And those who are doing so will start to experience it, that it's happening by itself sometimes. Sometimes for a longer period. And then there may be again a difficult period where it's not easy, where one forgets all the time, where there is again the old habit creating problems and suffering is there, but don't get disheartened. Just keep on reminding yourself, come back home, here now, timelessly. There is no suffering. There's no space for suffering. Here now, there is just that beauty of existence, full of bubbling joyousness. It's never absent, we just have to become aware of it. And to become aware of it, we just have to stop preventing it. And we prevent it with all this self-important stuff that we are holding on to. It's not right what is happening to me. Why is it happening to me and the others? Simultaneously wanting to do this and do the opposite. If we learn to let that go, then life starts to arrange itself. And even in difficult periods like now, we can live peacefully. Sometimes externally, the peace will be shattered, but the stronger you are rooted in your own awareness of that aspect that is not affected by it, the more peaceful is life, even in dire circumstances, even when there is a lot of external tensions there, even there, if there is a lot happening that we don't like, we need not suffer. We need not make us suffer. We can live in that peace. And that peacefulness is full of joy. And the longer we live in that, the more we are capable of fully relaxing in that, the more we become aware how much joyousness is there. And it's intensifying and intensifying, and there is no end to it.